Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, April the 6th, 2021, and it's also the 24th of Nisan, 5781. I am in a new coffee shop that I found. It's called PB&J's Cafe. They are located at 3445 Hendersonville Road in Fletcher, North Carolina. Their operating hours are Tuesday through Friday from 8 to 4 and Saturdays from 9 to 5. And they are closed on Sundays and Mondays. So this is a very interesting shop. Their main thing seems to be peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It's not just peanut butter. They also have cashew butter, pecan butter, almond butter, and they have different types of jellies as well. And you could either make your own sandwich, or they have sandwiches that they've already, their own specialty sandwiches. The one that I got was the Miami Beach. It comes with cashew butter, blackberry jam, brown sugar bacon, strawberries, toasted coconut flakes as on a wheatberry bread. The butters are locally made, and the jams are, the berries for the jams are locally grown, and also the jams are locally made. They don't have a heavy sweet taste to them, which is something that I like. I don't really care for regular jams and jellies because there's such a heavy sweet taste, so I usually get the unsweet. And I let them keep the bacon on there. I am trying to give it a pork, not just because I am now Jewish, but also health-wise. And I've been, even before I ever decided to come into the Jewish faith, I decided that I was going to give up pork. So this is something I've been trying to do for a long time. And seeing as how, family members are also, nobody in my family has given up pork at all, even though some of them need to for their health. So that makes it more difficult for me to give it up completely, but I am working on it. But I just wanted to see what it would taste like, bacon on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So it was actually really good, and it also comes with chips, and the chips are not those baked chips or those kettle cooked chips. Those are so hard, they'll break your teeth trying to bite them. These are just regular plain potato chips with the Ridges. I'm not sure if they're Ruffle brand, but whenever I see the Ridge potato chips, I automatically think of the old Ruffles commercial. Ruffles have Ridges. So I hope that if you are in this area, that you do stop by and pay them a visit. They are located in a brick building across the street from the CVS store. There's a red light right there as well. And at the other end of the building is a little, like a little antique type shop that has very interesting things, and they're not, really high-priced things. So yeah, just come by and check them out. Now I'll be coming back here more and more, so on Sundays and Mondays, I guess I'll be going back to Panera on those days since they're not open. But other days that I'm going to be recording, I'm going to frequent here. They also have quiches, and it's thing called a galette, which is something similar to a Danish pastry. I'll have to try that out. And they also have ice cream and just different types of food. And it's, like I said, it's very unique. And I hope that they do well and open up chains. That would be awesome, so that everybody in the country could experience this unique type little restaurant cafe. Okay, now we're going to start into our reading. Yesterday we ended at with chapter 32. So they had just made the golden calf and made God mad, and so whenever Moses came back down, he destroyed the golden calf and melted it and made them drink it. So now we're going to begin in chapter 33, verse 1. Adonai said to Moshe, "Leave you and the people you brought up from the land of Egypt, and move on from here toward the land of which I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. I will give it to your descendants. I will send an angel ahead of you, and I will drive out the Canaanite, Amorite, Hittite, Perizzi, Hava, and Yebusi. You will go to a land flowing with milk and honey, but I myself will not go with you, because you are such a stiff-necked people that I might destroy you on the way." When the people heard this bad news, they went into mourning, and no one wore his ornaments. Adonai said to Moshe, "Tell the people of Israel, you are a stiff-necked people. If I were to go up with you for even one moment, I would exterminate you. Now, keep your ornaments off. Then I will decide what to do to you." So from Mount Horeb onward, the people of Israel stripped themselves of their ornaments. Moshe would take the tent and pitch it outside the camp, far away from the camp. He called it the tent of meeting. Everyone who wanted to consult Adonai would go out to the tent of meeting outside the camp. Whenever Moshe went out to the tent, all the people would get up and stand, each man at his tent door, and look at Moshe until he had gone into the tent. Whenever Moshe entered the tent, the column of cloud would descend and station itself at the entrance to the tent, and Adonai would speak with Moshe. When all the people saw the column of cloud stationed at the entrance to the tent, they would get up and prostrate themselves, each man at his tent door. Adonai would speak to Moshe face to face, as a man speaks to his friend. Then he would return to the camp, but the young man who was his assistant, Yehoshua, the son of Nun, never left the inside of the tent. Moshe said to Adonai, "Look, you say to me, make these people move on, but you haven't let me know whom you will be sending with me. Nevertheless, you have said, I know you by name, and also you have found favor in my sight. Now please, if it is really the case that I have found favor in your sight, show me your ways, so that I will understand you and continue finding favor in your sight. Moreover, keep on seeing this nation as your people." He answered, "Set your mind at rest. My presence will go with you after all." Moshe replied, "If your presence doesn't go with us, don't make us go on from here. For how else is it to be known that I have found favor in your sight, I and your people, other than by your going with us? This is what distinguishes us, me and your people, from all the other peoples on earth." And I said to Moshe, "I will also do what you have asked me to do, because you have found favor in my sight, and I know you by name." But Moshe said, "I beg you to show me your glory." He replied, "I will cause all my goodness to pass before you, and in your presence I will pronounce the name of Adonai. Moreover, I show favor to whomever I will, and I display mercy to whomever I will. But my face," he continued, "you cannot see, because a human being cannot look at me and remain alive. Here," he said, "is a place near me. Stand on the rock. When my glory passes by, I will put you inside a crevice in the rock and cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will remove my hand, and you will see my back, but my face is not to be seen." Chapter 34. And I said to Moshe, "Cut yourself 2 tablets of stone like the first ones, and I will inscribe on the tablets the words that were on the first tablets, which you broke. Be ready by morning. In the morning you are to ascend Mount Sinai and present yourself to me on the top of the mountain. No one is to come up with you, and no one is to be seen anywhere on the mountain. Don't even let the flocks or herds feed in front of this mountain." Moshe cut 2 stone tablets like the first. Then he got up early in the morning and, with the 2 stone tablets in his hands, ascended Mount Sinai as Adonai had ordered him to do. Adonai descended in the cloud, stood with him there, and pronounced the name of Adonai. Adonai passed before him and proclaimed, "Yud He Vav He, Yud He Vav He, Adonai is God, merciful and compassionate, slow to anger, rich in grace and truth, showing grace to the 1000th generation, forgiving offenses, crimes, and sins, yet not exonerating the guilty, but causing the negative effects of the parents' offenses to be experienced by their children and grandchildren, and even by the 3rd and 4th generations." At once Moshe bowed his head to the ground, prostrated himself, and said, "If I have now found favor in your view, Adonai, then please let Adonai go with us, even though they are a stiff-necked people, and pardon our offenses and our sin, and take us as your possessions." He said, "Here, I am making a covenant. In front of all your people I will do wonders such as have not been created anywhere on earth or in any nation. All the people around you will see the work of Adonai. What I am going to do through you will be awesome. Observe what I am ordering you to do today. Here, I am driving out ahead of you the Amorite, Canaanite, Hittite, Perizi, Hivite, and Yebusi. Be careful not to make a covenant with the people living in the land where you are going, so that they won't become a snare within your own borders. Rather, you are to demolish their altars, smash their standing stones, and cut down their sacred poles, because you are not to bow down to any other god, since Adonai, whose very name is jealous, is a jealous God. Do not make a covenant with the people living in the land. It will cause you to go astray after their gods and sacrifice to their gods. Then they will invite you to join them in eating their sacrifices, and you will take their daughters as wives for your sons. Their daughters will prostitute themselves to their own gods and make your sons do the same. Do not cast metal gods for yourselves. Keep the festival of matzah by eating matzah, as I ordered you, for 7 days during the month of Aviv. For it was in the month of Aviv that you came out from Egypt. Everything that is first from the womb was mine. Of all your livestock, you are to set aside for me the males, the firstborn of cattle and flock. The firstborn of a donkey you must redeem with a lamb. If you won't redeem it, break its neck. All the firstborn of your sons you are to redeem, and no one is to appear before me empty-handed. 6 days you will work, but on the 7th day you are to rest. Even in plowing time and harvest season you are to rest. Observe the festival of Shavuot with the first gathered produce of the wheat harvest, and the festival of ingathering at the turn of the year. 3 times a year all your men are to appear before the Lord, Adonai, the God of Israel. For I am going to expel nations ahead of you and expand your territory, and no one will even covet your land when you go up to appear before Adonai your God 3 times a year. You are not to offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, and the sacrifice of the feast of Pesach is not to be left until morning. You are to bring the best firstfruits of your land into the house of Adonai your God. You are not to boil a young goat in its mother's milk. Adonai said to Moshe, "Write these words down, because they are the terms of the covenant I have made with you and with Israel." Moshe was there with Adonai 40 days and 40 nights, during which time he neither ate food nor drank water. Adonai wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 words. When Moshe came down from the Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the testimony in his hand, he didn't realize that the skin of his face was sending out rays of light as a result of his talking with Adonai. When Aharon and the people of Israel saw Moshe, the skin of his face was shining, and they were afraid to approach him. But Moshe called to them. Then Aharon and all the community leaders came back to him, and Moshe spoke to them. Afterwards, all the people of Israel came near, and he passed on to them all the orders that Adonai had told him on Mount Sinai. Once Moshe had finished speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But when he went in before Adonai for him to speak, he would take the veil off until he came out. Then, when he came out, he would tell the people of Israel what he had been ordered. But when the people of Israel saw Moshe's face, as the skin of Moshe's face shone, he would put the veil back over his face until he went in again to speak with Adonai. Chapter 35. Moshe assembled the whole community of the people of Israel and said to them, "These are the things which Adonai has ordered you to do. In 6 days work is to be done, but the 7th day is to be a holy day for you, a Shabbat of complete rest in honor of Adonai. Whoever does any work on it is to be put to death. You are not to kindle a fire in any of your homes on Shabbat." Moshe said to the whole community of the people of Israel, "Here's what Adonai has ordered. Take up a collection for Adonai from among yourselves. Anyone whose heart makes him willing is to bring the offering for Adonai: gold, silver, and bronze, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, fine linen, goat's hair, tanned ram skins, and fine leather, acacia wood, oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil and for the fragrant incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ritual vest and the breastplate. Then let all the craftsmen among you come and make everything Adonai has ordered: the tabernacle with its tent, covering, fasteners, planks, crossbars, posts, and sockets, the ark with its poles, ark cover, and the curtain to screen it, the table with its poles, all the utensils and the showbread, the menorah for the light with its utensils and lamps, and the oil for the light, the incense altar with its bowls, the anointing oil, the fragrant incense, the screen for the entranceway at the entrance to the tabernacle, the altar for burnt offerings with its poles and all its utensils, the basin with its base, the tapestries for the courtyard, with their posts and sockets, the screen to the gateway of the courtyard, the tent pegs for the tabernacle, the tent pegs for the courtyard with their ropes, the garments for officiating, for serving in the holy place, and the holy garments for Aharon, the Cohen, and the garments for his sons, so that they can serve in the office of Cohen. Then the whole community of the people of Israel withdrew from Moshe's presence, and they came, everyone whose heart stirred him, and everyone whose spirit made him willing, and brought Adonai's offering for the work on the tent of meeting, for the service in it, and for the holy garments. Both men and women came, as many as had willing hearts. They brought nose rings, earrings, signet rings, bells, all kinds of gold jewelry, everyone bringing an offering of gold to Adonai. Everyone who had blue, purple, or scarlet yarn, fine linen, tanned ram skins, or fine leather brought them. Everyone contributing silver or bronze brought his offering for Adonai, and everyone who had acacia wood suitable for any of the work brought it. All the women who were skilled at spinning got to work and brought what they had spun: the blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and the fine linen. Likewise, the women whose hearts stirred them to use their skill spun the goat's hair. The leaders brought the onyx stones and the stones to be set for the ritual vest and the breastplate, the spices and the oil for the light, for the anointing oil, and for the fragrant incense. Thus every man and woman of the people of Israel whose heart impelled him to contribute to any of the work Adonai had ordered through Moshe brought it to Adonai as a voluntary offering. Moshe said to the people of Israel, "See, Adonai has singled out but I can't hardly say that word, but Tazalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehuda. He has filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, understanding, and knowledge concerning every kind of artistry. He is a master of delight in gold. He is a master of design in gold, silver, bronze, cutting precious stones to be set, wood carving, and every other craft. Adonai has also given him and Oholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, the ability to teach others. He has filled them with the skill needed for every kind of work, whether done by an artisan, a designer, an embroiderer using blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine linen, or a weaver. They have the skill for every kind of work and design. Chapter 36. But Bezalel and Oholiab, along with all the craftsmen whom Adonai has endowed with the wisdom and skill necessary to carry out the work needed for the sanctuary, ought to do exactly according to everything Adonai has ordered. Moshe summoned Bezalel, Oholiab, and every craftsman to whom Adonai had given wisdom, every one whose heart stirred him, to come and take part in the work. They received from Moshe all the offering which the people of Israel had brought for the work of building the sanctuary. But they still kept bringing voluntary offerings every morning until all the craftsmen doing the work for the sanctuary left the work they were involved with to tell Moshe, "The people are bringing far more than is needed to do the work Adonai has ordered done." So Moshe gave an order which was proclaimed throughout the camps. Neither men nor women are to make any further efforts for the sanctuary offering. In this way, the people were restrained from making additional contributions. For what they had already was not only sufficient for doing all the work, but too much. With all the skilled men who were carrying out the work, Bezalel made the tabernacle using 10 sheets of finely woven linen and of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. He made them with cherubim worked in that had been crafted by a skilled artisan. Each sheet was 42 feet long and 6 feet wide. All the sheets were the same size. He joined 5 sheets one to another, and the other 5 sheets be joined one to another. He made loops of blue on the edge of the outermost sheet in the first set, and did the same on the edge of the outermost sheet in the second set. He made 50 loops on the one sheet, and he made 50 loops on the edge of the sheet, second set. The loops were opposite one another. He made 50 fasteners of gold and coupled the sheets to each other with the fasteners, so that the tabernacle formed a single unit. He made sheets of goat's hair to be used as a tent covering the tabernacle. He made 11 sheets. Each sheet was 45 feet long and 6 feet wide. All 11 sheets were the same size. He joined 5 sheets together and 6 sheets together. He made 50 loops on the edge of the outermost sheet in the first set, and 50 loops on the outermost sheet in the second set. He made 50 fasteners of bronze to join the tent together, so that it would be a single unit. He made a covering for the tent of tan ram skins and an outer covering of fine leather. He made the upright planks of acacia wood for the tabernacle. Each plank was 15 feet long and 2.25 feet wide. There were 2 projections on each plank, and the planks were joined one to another. This is how he made all the planks for the tabernacle. He made the planks for the tabernacle as follows: 20 planks for the south side, facing southward. He made 40 silver sockets under the 20 planks, 2 sockets under one plank for its 2 projections, and 2 sockets under another plank for its 2 projections. On the second side of the tabernacle, to the north, he made 20 planks and the 40 silver sockets, 2 sockets under one plank and 2 under another. For the rear part of the tabernacle, toward the west, he made 6 planks. For the corners of the tabernacle in the rear, he made 2 planks, double from the bottom all the way to the top, but joined at a single ring. He did the same with both of them at the 2 corners. Thus were 8 planks with their silver sockets, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under each plank. He made crossbars of acacia wood, 5 for the planks of the one side of the tabernacle, 5 crossbars for the planks of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 crossbars for the planks at the side of the tabernacle at the rear toward the west. He made the middle crossbar so that it extended from one end of the planks to the other, halfway up. He overlaid the planks with gold, made gold rings for them through the crossbars, made gold rings for them through which the crossbars could pass, and overlaid the crossbars with gold. He made the curtain of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine woven linen. He made them with cherubim worked in that had been crafted by a skilled artisan. He made for it 4 posts of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold and gold hooks, and cast for them 4 silver sockets. For the entrance to the tent, he made a screen of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely woven linen, in colors the work of a weaver, with its 5 posts and their hooks. He overlaid their capitals and their attached rings for hanging with gold, while their 5 sockets were of bronze. Chapter 37. But Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood, 3 3/4 feet long, 2 1/4 feet wide, and 2 1/4 feet high. He overlaid it with pure gold inside and outside, and put a molding of gold for it around the top. He cast 4 gold rings for it at its 4 feet, 2 rings on each side. He made poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He put the carrying poles for the ark and the rings on the sides of the ark. He made a cover for the ark of pure gold, 3 3/4 feet long and 2 1/4 feet wide. He made 2 cherubim of gold. He made them of hammered work for the 2 ends of the ark cover, 1 cherub for one end and 1 cherub for the other. And he made the cherubim of one piece with the ark cover at its 2 ends. The cherubim had their wings spread out above, so that their wings covered the ark. Their faces were toward each other and toward the ark cover. He made the table of acacia wood, 3 feet long, 18 inches wide, and 18 inches high. He overlaid it with pure gold and put a molding of gold around the top of it. He made around it a rim a handbreadth wide and put a molding of gold around the rim. He cast for it 4 gold rings and attached the rings to the 4 corners near its 4 legs. The rings to hold the carrying poles for the table were placed close to the rim. He made the carrying poles for the table of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He made the utensils to be put on the table, its dishes, pans, bowls, and pitchers of pure gold. He made the menorah of pure gold. He made it of hammered work. Its base, shaft, cups, rings of outer leaves, and flowers were a single unit. There were 6 branches extending from its sides, 3 branches of the menorah on one side of it, and 3 on the other. On one branch were 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, a ring of outer leaves and petals. Likewise, on the opposite branch, 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, a ring of outer leaves and petals, and similarly for all 6 branches extending from the menorah. On the central shaft of the menorah were 4 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with its ring of outer leaves and petals. Where each pair of branches joined the central shaft was a ring of outer leaves of one piece with a pair of branches. Thus for all 6 branches. Their rings of outer leaves and their branches were of one piece with the shaft. Thus the whole menorah was one piece of hammered work made of pure gold. He made its 7 lamps, its tongs, and its trays of pure gold. The menorah and its utensils were made of 66 pounds of pure gold. I think these people, they were slaves in Egypt, so obviously they were not allowed to have a lot of stuff. And they got that much gold and thread and clothing and just different things from these Egyptians. That's a lot of stuff that they managed to get. Verse 25, he made the altar on which to burn intensification wood, 18 inches square and 3 feet high. Its horns were a single unit. He overlaid it with pure gold, its top, all around its sides and its horns, and he put around it a molding of gold. He made 2 gold rings for it under its molding, at the 2 corners on both sides, to hold the carrying poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He made the holy anointing oil and the pure incense of aromatic plant substances, as would an expert perfume maker. Chapter 38. He made the altar for burnt offerings of acacia wood, 7.5 feet long and 7.5 feet wide. It was square and 4.5 feet high. He made horns for it on its 4 corners. The horns were of one piece with it, and he overlaid it with bronze. He made all the utensils for the altar, its pots, shovels, basins, meat hooks, and fire pans. All its utensils he made of bronze. He made for the altar a grate of bronze netting under its rim, reaching halfway up the altar. He cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the bronze grate to hold the poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. He put the carrying poles into the rings on the sides of the altar. He made it of planks and hollow inside. He made the basin of bronze with its base of bronze for the mirrors of the women serving at the entrance to the tent of meeting. He made the courtyard. On the south side, facing southward, the tapestries for the courtyard were made of finely woven linen, 150 feet long, supported on 20 posts and 20 bronze sockets. The hooks on the posts and the attached rings for hanging were of silver. On the north side they were 150 feet long, hung on 20 posts and 20 bronze sockets, with the hooks on the posts and the rings of silver. On the west side were tapestries 70 feet long. On the west side were tapestries 75 feet long, hung on 10 posts and 10 sockets, with the hooks on the posts and the rings of silver. On the east side were tapestries 75 feet long. The tapestries for the one side of the gateway were 22.5 feet long, hung on 3 posts and 3 sockets. Likewise for the other side, on either side of the gate, were tapestries 22.5 feet long, on 3 posts and 3 sockets. All the tapestries for the courtyard all the way around were of finely woven linen. The sockets for the posts were of bronze. The hooks on the posts and the rings were of silver. The capitals of the posts were overlaid with silver, and all the posts of the courtyard were banded with silver. The screen for the gateway to the courtyard was the work of a weaver in colors of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely woven linen. Its length was 30 feet and its height 7.5 feet all the way along, like the tapestries of the courtyard. It had 4 posts and 4 bronze sockets with silver hooks, capitals overlaid with silver, and silver fasteners. The tent pegs for the tabernacle and for the courtyard around it were of bronze. These are the accounts of the tabernacle of the testimony, recorded as Moshe ordered by the Levites, under the direction of Itamar, the son of Aharon, the Cohen, priest. But Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehudah, made everything that Adonai ordered Moshe to make. Assisting him was Oholiab, the son of Achisamach, of the tribe of Dan, who was an engraver, a designer, and a weaver in colors, in blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and in fine linen. All the gold used for the work and everything needed for the sanctuary, the gold of the offering, weighed 29 talents, 730 shekels, 1,930 pounds, using the sanctuary's shekel. The silver given by the community weighed 100 talents, 1,775 shekels, 6,650 pounds, using the sanctuary shekel. There was a beka per person, that is, half a shekel, 1/5 of an ounce, using the sanctuary shekel, for everyone 20 years old or older, counted in the census. 603,550 men. The 100 talents of silver were used to cast the sockets for the sanctuary and the sockets for the curtain. 100 sockets made from the 100 talents. 1 talent, 66 pounds per socket. The 1,775 shekels, 50 pounds, he used to make hooks for the posts, to overlay their capitals, and to make fasteners for them. The bronze in the offering came to 4,680 pounds. He used it to make the sockets for the entrance to the tent of meeting, the bronze altar, its bronze gate, all the utensils for the altar, the sockets for the courtyard around it, the sockets for the gateway to the courtyard, all the tent pegs for the tabernacle, and all the tent pegs for the courtyard around it. Chapter 39. From the blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, they made the garments for officiating, for serving in the holy place, and they made the holy garments for Aharon, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He made the ritual vest of gold, of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely woven linen. They hammered the gold into thin plates and cut them into threads, in order to work it into the blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and the fine linen, crafted by the skilled artisan. They made shoulder pieces for it, joined together. They were joined together at the two ends. The decorated belt on the vest used to fasten it was of the same workmanship and materials, gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely twined linen, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. They worked the onyx stones, mounted in gold settings, engraving them with the names of the sons of Israel, as they would be engraved on a seal. Then he put them on the shoulder pieces of the vest to be stones, calling to mind the sons of Israel, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He made the breastplate. It was crafted by a skilled artisan and made like the work of the ritual vest, of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely woven linen. When folded double, the breastplate was square. Doubled, it was a handspan by a handspan. They put on it 4 rows of stones. The first row was a cornelian, a topaz, and an emerald. The second row, a green feldspar, a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row, an orange zircon, an agate, and an amethyst. In the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They were mounted in settings of gold. The settings corresponded to the names of the 12 sons of Israel. They were engraved with their names on a seal. They were engraved with their names as a seal would be engraved, each name representing one of the 12 tribes. On the breastplate they made 2 pure gold chains, twisted like cords. Also for the breastplate they made 2 settings of gold and 2 gold rings, and they put the 2 rings at the 2 ends of the breastplate. They put the 2 twisted gold chains in the 2 rings at the ends of the breastplate, and attached the other 2 ends of the twisted chains to the front of the shoulder pieces of the ritual vest. They also made the 2 gold rings and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate at its edge, on the side facing in toward the vest. Also they made 2 gold rings and attached them low on the front part of the vest shoulder pieces, near the join, above the vest's decorated belt. Then they bound the breastplate by its rings to the rings of the vest with a blue cord, so that it could be on the vest's decorated belt, and so that the breastplate would not swing loose from the vest, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He made the robe for the ritual vest. It was woven entirely of blue, with its opening in the middle, like that of a coat of mail, and with a border around the opening, so that it wouldn't tear. On the bottom hem they made pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet, and woven linen. And they made bells of pure gold, and put the bells between the pomegranates all the way around the hem of the robe. Between the pomegranates, that is, bell, pomegranate, all the way around the hem of the robe for service, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. They made the tunics of finely woven linen for Aharon and his sons, the turban of fine linen, the splendid headgear of fine linen, the linen shorts, and the sash of finely woven linen and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, the work of a weaver in colors, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. They made the ornament for the holy turban of pure gold, wrote on it the words, "Set apart for Adonai," like the engraving on a seal, and tied a blue cord on it to fasten it to the front of the turban, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. Thus all the work for the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, was finished, with the people of Israel doing everything exactly as Adonai had ordered Moshe. Then they brought the tabernacle to Moshe, the tent and all its furnishings, clasps, planks, crossbars, posts, and sockets, the covering of tanned ram skins, the covering of fine leather, and the curtain for the screen, the ark for the testimony, its poles, and the ark cover, the table, all its utensils, and the showbread, the pure menorah, its lamps, and their arrangement for display, its accessories, and the oil for the light, the gold altar, the anointing oil, the fragrant incense, the screen for the entrance to the tent, the bronze altar with its bronze grate, poles, and all its utensils, the basin with its base, the tapestries for the courtyard with their posts and sockets, the screen for the entrance to the courtyard with its ropes and tent pegs, all the utensils for the service in the tabernacle, the tent of meetings, its ropes and tent pegs. Sorry, let me start this over. Verse 40, the tapestries for the courtyard with their posts and sockets, the screen for the entrance to the courtyard with its ropes and tent pegs, all the utensils for the service in the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, the garments for officiating, for serving in the holy place, the holy garments for Aharon the Cohen, and the garments for his sons to serve in the office of Cohen. The people of Israel did all the work just as Adonai had ordered Moshe. Moshe saw all the work, and there it was. They had done it. Exactly as Adonai had ordered, they had done it. And Moshe blessed them. Chapter 40. Adonai said to Moshe, "On the first day of the first month, you are to set up the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, put in it the ark for the testimony, and conceal the ark with a curtain. Bring in the table and arrange its display. Bring in the menorah and light its lamps. Set the gold altar for incense in front of the ark for the testimony, and set up the screen at the entrance to the tabernacle. Place the altar for burnt offerings in front of the entrance to the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. Set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it. Set up the courtyard all the way around, and hang up the screen for the entrance to the courtyard. Take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and everything in it. Consecrate it with all its furnishings, then it will be holy. Anoint the altar for burnt offerings with all its utensils. Consecrate the altar, then the altar will be especially holy. Anoint the basin and its base, and consecrate it. Then bring Aharon and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and wash them with water. Put the holy garments on Aharon, anoint him and consecrate him, so that he can serve me in the office of Cohen. Bring his sons, put tunics on them, and anoint them as you anointed their father, so that they can serve me in the office of Cohen. Their anointing will signify that the office of Cohen is theirs through all their generations. Moshe did this. He acted in accordance with everything Adonai had ordered him to do. On the first day of the first month of the second year, so this would be Nisan 1, the tabernacle was set up. Moshe erected the tabernacle, put its sockets in place, put up its planks, put in its crossbars, above and set up its posts. He spread the tent covering. He spread the tent over the tabernacle and put the covering of the tent above it, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He took and put the testimony inside the ark, put the poles on the ark, and set the ark cover above on the ark. Then he brought the ark into the tabernacle, set up the curtains as a screen, and concealed the ark for the testimony, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He put the table and the tent of meeting on the side of the tabernacle facing north, outside the curtain. He arranged a row of bread on it before Adonai, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He put the menorah in the tent of meeting across from the table, on the side of the tabernacle facing south. Then he lit the lamps before Adonai, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He set the gold altar in the tent of meeting in front of the curtain, and burned on it incense made from aromatic spices, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He set up the screen at the entrance to the tabernacle. The altar for burnt offerings he placed at the entrance to the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, and offered on it the burnt offering and the grain offering, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it for washing, so that Moshe and Aharon and his sons could wash their hands and feet there, so that they could wash when entering the tent of meeting and when approaching the altar, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. Finally, he erected the courtyard around the tabernacle and the altar, and set up the screen for the entrance to the courtyard. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of Adonai filled the tabernacle. Moshe was unable to enter the tent of meeting because the cloud remained on it, and the glory of Adonai filled the tabernacle. Whenever the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the people of Israel continued with all their travels. But if the cloud was not taken up, then they did not travel onward until the day when it was taken up. For the cloud of Adonai was above the tabernacle during the day, and fire was in the cloud at night, so that all the house of Israel could see it throughout all the travels. Hazak, Hazak, Veni, Hazak. Be strong, and let us be strengthened. So that is the end of Exodus or Shemot. So the next video we will start in Vayikra, which is we know as Leviticus. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be informed of every time that a new video is posted. And also please share my videos. And I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.